This journal is called Memories for a couple of reasons. One is for people who are getting older and they have stories they want to pass on to subsequent generations, but sometimes it's hard to know where to start. So it includes lots of visual prompts to help people write down their memories to tell grandchildren and future generations what it was they loved to do, what they enjoyed as a child. But it also has a possibility for use with somebody whose memory is already failing to help them just remember the things that they enjoyed. It may also be the opportunity to write things down, but it's to help them have a little bit of sense of control when their memory is fading and it's distracting and upsetting them. So this is the Memories Journal. It starts with a sort of 1950s funky print inside. And it says, as we get older, nostalgia for times and places from our past starts to sneak in. This journal contains images from the 1960s onwards to help give you cues for thoughts and photos you might want to add to make it more personal. There's absolutely no right or wrong way to use this journal. Add memories and details from your past and then add paper reminders you've kept. So the goal is to make it your own. This is just the starting point. It's not the finished thing. So inside you'll find a number of these gold envelopes. This one says home, and inside there are pictures of things you might have seen around the home, or instructions from your family to what to do, an alarm clock to wake you up for school, coffee percolator, tea kettle that sings, a big green bus, the laminate table and chairs that were so popular. What else have we got here? Clothespins on a line, an old dial telephone, a television set that has dials on it you had to get up and operate, older vehicles that you don't so often see these days, patterns and images you don't see so much, soda siphon, another alarm clock. What's this? Oh, the combined television and radio. I mean, how cool is that? It's not an endless list of things, but it's some things that might help jog people's memories for times that they remember fondly, times they sooner forget maybe. But those are some of the visual cues, but you can take those out and put your own photos in if you're making this to help someone remember things. So there are some plain pages just for writing things down, memories as you record them, as you see them. But there are also pages which says, this reminds me of, and then there's an image. So there's some writing there and a little sprig of flowers. It's not anything very specific, but if it reminds somebody of something, it's just to give them a place to start writing. And if it's a longer memory, if it reminds them of their wedding day or a lover's message, there's more space to continue writing. A picture of a little girl and her doll, child with a swing, a tire swing, somebody flipping through a book. What else have we got here? Teddy bear. This reminds me of, and then a pier going out to sea. This reminds me of. It may not remind you of anything, but my hope is that if it does bring you back memories, you can write them down and you can go on and add them. Where do you think that plane is going? Where was your first flight? Who did you fly with? What did you do when you got there? So there's a series of pages for writing memories, adding memories. This reminds me of jigsaw puzzle. When did they do jigsaw puzzles? Was it a family tradition? Another picture of a book with a photo of two older looking people. So it's entirely up to you how you use it, whether you just start writing your memories, whether you use the prompts, or whether you write memories down to help others. So this one says clothes. So these are just a few pictures of clothes that might jog memories. So there's some 1970s girls with improbably long legs, high tops, a funky Mary Quant jumpsuit, a 1960s sweater, very vivid print, and then some silky looking undergarments and some less silky looking undergarments. Who knows what thoughts they'll trigger, but they're in there to help trigger memories if you are having a hard time remembering, or if you want to have a conversation and you're not quite sure where to start. Pull a card out and use it to get you going. So this one is media. So these are things that you might remember using: an old camera, television set, stories or something about aliens, a record, a piled up tuner and an amplifier, a telephone box, another record, sort of 1970s radios, guitars, a movie film, regular film, a cassette tape, recorders, and a record player. Again, it's not a definitive list. They're just some things that I found that I thought might jog memories, might remind people of times and events and situations and people they'd forgotten about. So use them, ignore them, put your own pictures in, whatever works for you. Love hearts candy, what does that remind somebody of? Little girl, is she crying? Is she sad? Is she playing hide and seek? Doesn't really matter what it's of, it's what it makes you think of, and then that's what you write. As a child on a swing, swinging high on a summer's day maybe, what does this remind you of? It's just ways to try and help bring back good memories. Hopefully not too many bad memories, but if you need to get them out, this is a good place to write them. A man and a boy in a subtropical setting and a bunch of photos. When did you look through photos with a family member? What stories did they tell you? Who read you a book, a storybook, and inspired your imagination? It's not an absolute picture. It's a picture that I hope will trigger fond memories and give you a way to get into putting them down. A young couple kissing as they walk along the road. What does that remind them of? Who's in the picture with them in their story? Girl at a fun fair with candy floss. She's having a good time, isn't she? Who remembers that sort of event in their life? Activities is the next envelope. School book, somebody painting, school memories. I try to pick things that are fairly common to everybody so that there's nothing too exclusive that's going to turn people off. 2 children on the beach looking like they're having a lovely time. They look like they're either having a challenge or a dance or they're talking. Again, it's up to the person who sees this to decide what memory it brings them. Who had a birthday party out in the back garden with a cake. That could be a fun memory to bring back. Looks like a yacht and toys. Again, what does that remind you of? What happy memories does that bring back? Who had a baby pram like that, or had a child in a baby pram with the straps on to keep the child in there, and that lovingly knitted little cardigan that they've got on? 2 children out splashing, or 4 children out splashing in Wellingtons. These ones are covered in mud. What does that bring back? And then this one is events. This one seemed like a good category to put in here to try and help people remember things. So this looks like a very active birthday party. The mum's scooping ice cream, there's cake, there's presents, there's blowers. There are 1950s looking adults having an evening party. Who knows quite what that is, but who knows what it will remind you of. There's the children's birthday party, a baby being weighed on a scale, going to visit Santa, maybe going on holiday, Christmas. Again, it's not a definitive list, it's what you recall, what you want to add in there. You can put your own photos in there, throw these away. It's entirely up to you. You can also write on the back of the cards if that helps. Painting, clothespin, pastimes. Let's have a look in there and see what we've got in there. It's a thick one. What kind of things did people do that they want to remember or might want to remember? Lying on the floor reading a book. Making up a game in the play kitchen, playing with bubbles, doing a jigsaw puzzle, playing on the water's edge and finding shells and stones, cuddling your dolly. Children playing with what looks like a zoo on the floor. 2 children out late in the evening pushing each other on the swing. A sandcastle, a duck in a bathtub with bubbles, a top, a teddy bear, a troll. Making things out of milk cartons, a windmill, a little girl on a tire swing, something else under there, what have we got under there? Lego blocks, a little merry-go-round toy, a doll, a trike, Raggedy Ann and Andy with a corny I yarn for you. Again, maybe toys and pictures and things that you want to put in here instead, or if it does bring back a memory, you can just write on there what it is, and anything that just doesn't really relate to you, get rid of it. So that's there. More pages for writing down longer memories. All those threads. I used to love going into fabric stores and seeing all the gorgeous threads and trying to match them to the fabric. There's a floppy disk, a not so floppy disk from 2003. Little girl on the seashore again, picking up shells. A doll. Child playing with their toes, discovering their toes, playing with their toes. A little girl in the kitchen. Television set with buttons that you had to get up and turn. My photos, space there for you to put whatever you like in there. And then we're back to that funky cover again. So this is again entirely up to you how you choose to use it, whether you use it to write down your memories to pass on, you sit down with somebody else and help them collect their memories. Maybe it's a sort of family project to get family memories together, get memories together to give to somebody for a big event or a birthday. It's entirely up to you, but this is the basis. Do with it what you will. I'll put my false teeth in next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.